Hello everyone, welcome to A Month in JDM for December 2018, a series where we'll take a retrospective look at Japanese car related news from the previous month. So this is a series I've been thinking of doing for quite a while, so I thought, well, let's just do a test episode and see how it goes, and perhaps we can do this every month, because there's some quite interesting stuff that I found. Okay, so the first story to look at is a story about a handsome young man, no, not a handsome young man, that's me, sorry, no, no, I joke, but this is my S15 that I bought, and this is quite a nice article from the 19th of December. What happens when you own a Nissan Silvia spec car, sell up, then instantly regret it? This is the exact situation that Brett found himself in, and after considering his options, he decided the only solution would be to own another one. Yeah, that's my real name's Brett. So after hearing about TalkGT's personal import service, he was dropping us a line, keen to make his dream a reality. This bespoke service offered Brett the opportunity to own his S15 to his exact requirements, whilst ensuring he secured a top example. So we had the target of 400 brake horsepower, which we managed to get in the end, 400 at the crank, about 350 at the wheels, which is quite good considering we kept the SR20. There was, however, one aspect that had Brett concerned. How would the personal import service work considering his address was 1,500 miles away off the coast of Spain? Yes, that's me. Yep, and just a quick reminder, this is what the S15 looked like. I'll put that on screen. That's what it looked like, and now it looks like that. So yeah, really happy with that. S15s are hard to find nowadays, but we were all surprised we managed to secure a lovely example with a matter of days. Pearl white and in top condition. We were able to realise Brett's dream a lot sooner than expected, or so we thought. Due to the nature of our personal import service, we tend to build strong relationships with our customers through a shared admiration of Japanese cars and our personal approach to the service. Alright, yep. So Brett's... Consequently, it wasn't long before we got onto the subject of Brett's master plan. And before we knew it, we were briefed to build a spec car that was perfect for the street, responsive, punchy, whilst usable for everyday driving. This was a type of project car our head technician Paul relished. Yeah, so that's the inside. Brilliant. Fast forward several weeks, and the build was in full swing. The majority of parts were supplied via our online store, and work was carried out at TalkGT workshops. Okay, our first priority was to fully forge the SR20 for reliability's sake, with components from top brands such as Weisco, ARP, ACL and King Racing. Soon after, we were fitting a Garrett GT28 7.1R turbo, a selection of premium breathing and power upgrades, Tommy, Fujitsubo and HKS, followed by cooling upgrades from Mishimoto. Handling mods followed, including a set of Meister R coilovers plus a stage 2 competition clutch to handle the increased power, and Driftworks adjustable camber arms. I don't think they put it in that paragraph, but okay. The whole build was rounded off with a Link plug-in ECU and ancillaries, and so we scroll down for the top spec. Oh yeah, an ultra racing strut bar. I decided to go for that because it was white and just fit in nicely. My only regret is I kind of wish I'd gone for a top-mounted turbo because that looks good. But anyway, I'm still really happy. So that's the HKS Mushroom, Meister R coilovers, Mishimoto radiator. Oh, another cheesy photo. Thank you for that. Another nice photo. And yep, follow me at S15 on the rock if you'd like to. So I'll put the link in the description. But this is basically the full spec of the build. Okay, sticking with Nissan, but off to a slightly more serious story. Ninja Warrior star pins down a boy 15 until police arrived after a group of youths break into her home and steal her Nissan Skyline, as she reveals the teenager's costly error that brought him down. A Ninja Warrior finalist pinned a teenager to the ground after an alleged theft. Lockie Karoy, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, claimed a group of youths stole her Nissan Skyline from her home. Following the incident, she's now calling for harsher penalties for juveniles. Fair enough. Oh yeah, she gets him in a headlock. Go on, sunshine. A Ninja Warrior finalist has revealed how she pinned a teenager to the ground after he and his friends allegedly broke into her home and stole her beloved car. Lockie Karoy, I hope I've pronounced that right, 29, tracked down the youths on Friday after they allegedly stormed into her house in Upper Kedron, Brisbane, in Australia, and made off with a Nissan Skyline, the Courier Mail reported. The group allegedly first stole her Christmas presents and electronics before trying to make a getaway in a ute that was parked in her garage, but they couldn't drive manual, or they couldn't drive stick. After the ute slammed into the garage wall, the youths allegedly managed to flee in Miss Caroy's Skyline. Oh, there she is, doing her thing on TV, on Ninja Warrior. Yeah, so it's a V35, isn't it? Or, Infiniti V35, I'd probably call it. Because that has more in common with the 350Z than really the Skyline. But yet the new GTR isn't the Skyline. I don't know, a bit weird. Anyway, still a nice car. We'd been in the police station and made a report about the car that some of my mates said they'd seen the car, Miss Corroy told the paper. We drove out there and saw the car down an area of nature reserve, and people were outside the car. One of them was taking a leak. I saw they were getting back in, so I managed to open the passenger door and drag the guy out. I pinned him on the ground for 15 minutes in a headlock whilst we waited for police. Dramatic footage obtained by 7 News showed Miss Corroy, a graphics designer and car enthusiast, pinning the boy to the ground whilst keeping him in a chokehold. Just crash tackled this beeper, she told the camera. The boy was charged with assaulting another man, but not with theft, according to the paper. That's a bit weird. Oh, an S13 in the background. An 18-year-old man allegedly involved in the incident was charged with unlawful use of a motor vehicle, burglary, entering a premises, and possession of a dangerous drug. It just gets worse and worse. There's Lockie again, doing her thing. Sticking with Nissan, the GT-R50 by Ital Design to go into production. Okay, so I suppose this is a CGI image of what it will look like. It's not every day that stunning concepts make it onto an actual production floor, but every once in a while, lightning strikes. Such as the case with the Nissan GTR50 by Ital Design, the Japanese car maker has announced that the futuristic concept vehicle is indeed going into production, and the company is now accepting orders of 50 vehicle of the 50 vehicle limited run. So only 50 they're making, and it's going to cost almost €1 million. Wow, 990,000. My goodness, how much for this Nismo tuned beast? You can drive one home to the tune of €990,000 before taxes, of course, and options. That's a whopping P52 million. Yikes. Oh yeah, this is Philippines. Oh yeah, this is top tier Philippines, which is why they say P59 million. Wow. First unveiled in June of last year, actually, the GT-R50 by Ital Design is a fresh new take on arguably the most legendary JDM vehicle of its time. The prototype was flaunted in an attractive grey and gold finish, but buyers can have their own unit customised with different colour combinations. Very nice. Okay, so that's the interior. The GTR50. Because there's only 50 of them being made. Well, it's called the R50. The reaction from Nissan fans around the world and potential customers of the GTR50 has greatly exceeded our expectations, but you're only making 50. 50! My goodness, I want to celebrate 50 years of the GTR as well as 50 years of Ital Design. We'll be rolling tributes to Nissan's engineering leadership and rich sports car heritage for a long time to come. Deliveries of the GT-R50 by Ital Design begin in 2019 and will run until the year 2020. So, do you have a spare P59 million or €1 million sitting idle in a bank account somewhere? Nope, I'm afraid I do not have. Well, that's pretty good though. Alright, one more for Nissan. So this is Heritage Parts Program to begin producing R33 and R34 GTR parts once again. These new parts will be in addition to the R32 parts that are already in production. Man, that's amazing. I wonder if they'll do that to the Silvia too. That's brilliant. So Nissan will be making well, they already do the R32 parts, but they'll be doing R33 and R34 GTR parts. Like new, that's brilliant. Maintaining old cars and sourcing parts for them can get quite frustrating and expensive in some situations. Thankfully, Nissan's Nismo Heritage Parts Program will begin manufacturing components for the R33 and the R34 GTR in addition to the ones already in production for the fan favourite R32. According to Nissan, the new parts in the program consist of powertrain, exterior, electrical and various mechanical components oftentimes needed like power window switches and weather stripping. Brilliant! And although Nissan didn't release more specifics, it's safe to assume that many loyalists around the world will be thrilled. Yeah, that's awesome. That's brilliant. I love the fact that they're doing that. Almost 2 years ago, Nissan Motors, in association with Nissan Motorsports International and Autech Japan, announced that they would start remanufacturing brand new parts for the R32 GTR via its Nismo Heritage Part Program. When the program was initially launched, it began by remanufacturing 80 hard-to-find parts for the R32 GTR. That's brilliant. So as of now, the Nismo Heritage Parts Program includes 160 parts in total for 3 generations of Godzilla. Yes. However, Nissan is not ruling out the possibility of expanding the number of parts offered in the future. That's great. That's really, really good to hear. Whilst this is good news for GTR owners in Asia, Europe, and this announcement also benefits GTR owners in North America as well, for the few I suppose you can import at the moment, as early versions of the R33 across the 15 and 25 year limit in Canada and the United States, and certain versions of the R34 GTR are now legally allowed to enter the US. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Having the ability to source brand new parts from the manufacturer will definitely reduce the cost in maintaining older vehicles. That's brilliant. Oh yes, our story has now taken us to Toyota. The 2020 Toyota Supra front design leaked in revealing spy photo. There you go. The aggressive front-end design stays true to the FT1 concept. We're about a month away from the highly anticipated reveal of the reborn Toyota Supra, but we're not going to have to wait until the 2019 Detroit Auto Show to see the coupe's front fascia, apparently resting in a support truck. So now you can see how it's very similar to the concept in this side-by-side comparison. That's brilliant. The concept's pointy nose has been toned down for the road-going car, which will also have bigger LED lights and a less dramatic hood without the transparent panel to show the engine. Oh wow. Oh yeah, because the transparent panel up there kind of looks a little bit RX8-ish in my opinion. The side air intakes seem to be just about as big as they were on the FT1, the concept, and these flank a central piece, lending the Supra to a really aggressive look. One question does spring to mind: where are they going to put the license plate? Suppose. Looking further back, we can easily see the double bubble roof, the blacked out A-pillars, as well as the folded black side mirror caps, which all perfectly match the render we shared a couple of months ago. Oh yeah, down there. The back looks very Supra-like. Okay, this is a quick one. Sticking with the Toyota Supra, the 2020 Toyota Supra, engine sound revealed in yet another teaser. So you will need your headphones on, but we'll play that in just a second. Pump up the volume to hear the sweet melody of... Oh yeah, it's got the BMW engine in it, hasn't it? Shortly after we wrapped up our article about why the new Supra is powered by BMW, Toyota Europe's YouTube channel uploaded a video to complement the new details shared by Chief Engineer Tetsuya Tada. We get to hear the soundtrack provided by the BMW engine, specifically a newly developed 3-litre inline-6 already being used in the Z4 Roadster and the M340i Sports Sedan. There's nothing wrong with the quality of this video. If you dial it up to 1080, you'll still see it's... Oh yeah, it's just saying it's going to be blurry. So let's have a gander. I'm a bit disappointed though that Toyota aren't making their own engine, but hey. Okay, so Toyota, they were trying to source a straight six, so the quickest and easiest way for them was just to get one from BMW, I suppose, because they knew consumers wanted a straight six. So Toyota decided against developing one, which, although it upset purists, I can imagine, it's a business move that makes sense considering the Supra won't be a high volume car. So they've decided it was cheaper to use the BMW 3-litre straight six instead of developing their own, because developing their own would cost a fortune and they're not going to recoup that because they're not going to sell very many of them. Okay, we move on to Mazda. A production version of the 2016 Mazda RX Vision concept isn't ruled out quite yet. Ikuo Maeda, Mazda design boss, said, "When it is decided as a brand that we need a sports car, that's when we'll produce the car. As you know, we already have the MX-5. If we need a more premium sports car, then we need to have a serious think about it. So yes, the production version of the Mazda RX Vision Concept still isn't out of the question, but Mazda is basically saying that people have to be ready to give some proper money for it. I'm talking about 50 plus grand, wow, in dollars. Could the RX Vision Concept evolve to production? Well, I don't see why not, since Toyota are doing the Supra, so why not? The 2016 Mazda RX Vision Concept was a gorgeous car designed to showcase an ultimate front-engine, rear-wheel drive car. Some rumours floated around back then about its possible production version appearing as soon as 2017, but obviously nothing such came to fruition. Instead, Mazda continued its development, now introducing the stunning Mazda 3 that actually carries some of the styling cues from the RX Vision Concept. I suppose that's what the concept's all about. Nevertheless, answering the questions about a production version of the RX Vision, Akio Maeda, Mazda design chief, told Car Auto journalists, "I hope I can say yes, this is my dream." Actually, he went a bit further, claiming he actually has a design for a sports car, designs for a production car that is not a concept car or some strange one-off. Boy, I'd like to see that, but I don't think I will. Looks nice. The main holdback factor for the development of the new Mazda sports car, bigger and much faster than the MX-5 mind you, it's definitely an unfavourable business case. With sports car sales falling across the board, the entry of another sports car on the market is an almost certain failure. Again, similarly to why Toyota with the Supra decided to get an engine from BMW instead of making their own one, because they're going to lose money, because they're not going to sell as many as perhaps they need to, because like it says there is sales on sports cars are falling at the moment. One running on electricity could be a tad more of a logical proposition, but Mazda's chief present at the Los Angeles Auto Show did say that the company is committed to ICEs, internal combustion engines. That's what they're talking about. Each region and market has different methods of electricity generation, said Ichiro Hirose, Mazda's managing executive officer of powertrain development. So we have to look at how the electricity is being generated in each region. In some regions, it might be clean, so EVs, electric vehicles, are a good fit. But in other regions, due to power and electricity generation methods, internal combustion engines may have more advantage in terms of emission. When we think about the goal of CO2 reductions, I think there's still more regions that internal combustion engines are a better fit. So I think that for the time being, we should still focus on internal combustion engines. That's a good point. I think about that. People think that with an electric car, you're magically going to be saving on emissions, but you're not, because where is that electricity being generated? So you're just sort of transferring this sort of creation of power, the emissions, to the electricity generation factory. So you're not really, are we going to be much better off? I don't know, it's interesting. So no electric only sports car for Mazda then. Anyway, a rotary. Well, despite confirming the return of the Wankel engine by Mazda engine boss Mitsuo Hitomi last year, I am quite certain we won't be seeing it in the same form as it was, say in the RX-8. However, imagine liking electronic motors and mating them with a rotary engine. I suppose it'd be a good idea, because the rotary engine's so small, it would probably be nice to tap it on to put it in next to an electric engine to charge up the electric batteries. Mazda's Skyactiv X technology could make the Wankel rotary engine feasible again. This is interesting to talk about this. The return of the rotary engines in Mazda's stable has been a constant rumour ever since the last RX-8 left the factory. The Japanese manufacturer acknowledges this, and now, with the introduction of the Skyactiv X engine in the new Mazda 3, we might finally see the Wankel technology return in a modern guise. The much discussed Skyactiv X engine was touted as being sparkless, but what it has is spark-controlled compression ignition, which is Mazda's way of saying that it's high compression engine wherein a spark plug lights up only part of the fuel in the cylinder, which in turn compresses the lean mixture throughout the rest of the cylinder, producing a spontaneous ignition, but it's not really spontaneous as such, because there's still a spark plug there to light the bit of fuel before the whole engine gets hot. Well, that's quite interesting. Oh yeah, the old RX-7. Beautiful. The FC. The technology is said to make way for a very economical engine. This is one of the problems with the rotor unit. Yes, it's a very efficient concept, but it lacks the level of economy of standard engines. However, it's unclear how Mazda plans to incorporate the Skyactiv X ideas into a Wankel design. Okay, so I understand, that's interesting. Jalopnik talked to Mazda's Vice President of R&D and Masashi Otuska, who said that they're looking into it and there's a possibility of it all coming together, but he didn't say much more than that. What he did add, though, was that the rotary is a fun engine, and that's part of Mazda's uniqueness, which is why it's the company's duty to keep investing in time and money, so that this technology doesn't get ignored. But with this, the way the world's moving, with outlawing internal combustion engines by, 2040, 2050, is it worth looking into generating and building new engines when in sort of 20, 30 years, people are saying they want them all to be outlawed, so they want everything to be electric? And like I was saying, it's the power still has to come from a generating factory where the emissions will basically be transferred from the car now to the electricity station. So who knows? The 2017 and 2018 Honda Civic and Civic Type R recall alert. Vehicles affected: approximately 7,000 model year 2017-2018 Honda Civic hatchbacks and Type R hatchbacks. The problem is the owner's manual in these vehicles may have incorrect information for properly using the child restraint anchorage system, increasing the risk of injury in the event of a crash. So these guys, whoever bought one, needs to go back to their dealers quickly to try and sort this out. Bisimoto adds an all-wheel drive system and quite sequential gearbox to this old Civic EF party wagon. So these guys have managed to get 1,000 horsepower out of this thing. That's brilliant. This heavily modified version of Honda's K24 power plant sits in the engine bay. According to Busy, I suppose I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure. One of the big advantages of this is that the exhaust manifold integrates into the block. This prevents using traditional tubular headers, but is perfect for turbocharging because of the single opening and short run to the turbo, allowing for less lag. New pistons, connecting rods, cams and other components make sure the engine can take the power. For high RPM performance, Busy de-strokes the mill too. Okay, so that was 10 stories, and this is an honourable mention. I wanted to talk about this because I love this article. April 24th, 2017, so this was a couple of years ago now, but car vandalised in the name of love. Look at that. Mr. Sim Yumin and his girlfriend, Miss Shireen Tan, and their beautiful little dog there. So, Singapore. He had just finished exercising in Bedok Reservoir Park when a phone call from a friend informed him that there was an accident at the park's car park. As Mr. Sim Yumin, and again I hope I'm pronouncing that right, rushed to the car park, he saw the familiar sight of his Nissan Silvia S15. Hey, my girlfriend doesn't get any ideas. Oi, don't get any ideas. Don't get any ideas. From 50 metres away, he sensed something was amiss as his car was heavily vandalised. Mr. Sim, 36, who works in the storage solutions industry, told the Straits Times on Friday, "I just couldn't walk. I just couldn't walk. I was speechless. I was angry and scared at the same time. Who have I offended?" A few seconds later, a group of 15 friends jumped out from behind a parked van shouting, "Surprise!" Last minute, it was a prank planned and executed by Mr. Sim's girlfriend, Ms. Shireen Tan. Along with her friends, the pranksters, who took the 40 minutes to complete their handiwork at a nearby multi-storey car park, thought it would be a great way to celebrate the couple's 10th anniversary. Oh, isn't that sweet? Ms. Shireen Tan and her friends vandalised her boyfriend's car, said Ms. Tan, 29. "I knew that the Nissan is his baby, but I told the painter at the car workshop that I would be footing the bill for any of the paintwork." Wow, that must cost a fortune though. Wow. And he has to drive it there. That is brilliant. Okay. Images of the car began appearing on Facebook, multiple WhatsApp chat groups, citizen journalism portal Stomp garner more than 22,000 views as of Sunday. I wonder how many views it's got now. Added Mr. Sim, who is now amused at the whole affair. At traffic stops, people took out their mobile phones, smiled and snapped away. "I didn't dare look at them. Now I just can't wait to get my car professionally painted." Okay, so that was that. I hope that kind of went okay. It was a little interesting, a few things to talk about. If it goes okay, then maybe I'll do them every month. But yeah, with that said, thank you very much for watching. Whoever you are, wherever you are, have an awesome day. And I'll see you in the next one.